border wall. Of course, their deadline is December 21st, but following the recent news of a 7-year-old girl who lost her life crossing the southern border in U.S. custody, lawmakers are being pressed to come to a decision. Ana Paulina, Director for Spanish Engagement of Turning Point USA. A lot of talk around the border, the caravan, illegal immigration. So can we start off at least with talking about the threats at the border? What do you see as the biggest issues for the U.S.?
So basically, what we're finding now, and actually Tijuana just broke homicide records because of two warring factions of the cartels that were fighting over trafficking routes into the U.S. We're seeing parts of Arizona that don't even have a fence. It's literally just open. So what's happening is not only are these cartels, these organized crimes, are they aware that they can bring people over and they're bringing drugs and whatnot in the process, but what we're seeing is that if they know that they can get them in, they're going to try.
So then if we just play devil's advocate for a quick second, a lot of the narrative on the left is focused around migrants being asylum seekers and the separation of families at the border. And of course, we heard about the 7-year-old girl who passed in U.S. custody traveling to the southern border. So what is your response to those types of reasons why we shouldn't have this wall?
They were offered asylum in Mexico. They were offered asylum to other UN nations, and they actively said no. Instead of going to Texas, they went to essentially Tijuana. They willingly chose to make those very, very dangerous journeys. The main point of what a lot of people are missing is the fact that there's human slavery taking place still in the United States, and it's largely coming through the U.S.-Mexico border. So you have 16,000 children that have been estimated to have been trafficked. That was a stat coming from UNICEF, and then 18,000 women annually, which is horrific to think about. No one wants to see children being separated from their parents. So that whole argument in itself, it might not be a perfect immigration system, but it's one of the best in the world. And we have to understand that as Americans, we still have to uphold a humanitarian perspective and look at it as a way of protecting these people from the potential possibility of them being exploited, which we're seeing is happening.
And now with the government shutdown, which I will note that the government will not be completely shut down because most of the government has been funded already, but the discussion still lies around the wall being funded. He's asking for $5 billion. It doesn't look like he's going to get that based on the Democrats' narrative here. So are there other avenues that the president can go towards in order to get the wall funded?
I do hope that he forces their hands. And then at the end of the day, we can resort back to the military helping out with that, because essentially it is national security. And this is turning into a state of emergency with the amount of people that are attempting to literally force their way into this country, which in many places they consider that an invasion.
Ana Paulina, thank you for joining us. We will certainly continue to monitor whether or not Congress and the White House come to an agreement. I'm Gabrielle Cuccia, One American News, Washington.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and